Agenda. I call the Cemetery Commission to order for February 12th. I declare we have a quorum present. And we'll go right to the agenda. Public comments, seeing none. Commissioner comments before we begin? None. Approval of minutes from January 8th, our January meeting.
I move to accept the minutes from the January meeting.
I second that.
Second, all in favor? Votes call, voice. Fran,
Aye.
Barbara,
Aye.
and do you want to?
Aye.
Sure, votes aye. So those minutes are approved. Lot approval of lot sales.
It doesn't, maybe we should go directly to Tracy.
Oh, yeah. Tracy, welcome.
Hi, everybody. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Well, I have some news for you. So I'm going to fill you in on where we are at with the Newtown Cemetery. So I did try to put forth a warrant article for town meeting to convey the cemetery to the commission. And so as you know, in the past, there's been this issue of whether there's a title issue. And, you know, you guys did a little bit of title work, but the reality is that if we were to convey it and there were any issues with the heirs or anything like that, you know, we would be subject to paying damages, and town council is not recommending that we take that risk. So what she's proposing is that we have a proper land court title done, you know, with a land court examiner that is certified, that we can rely upon, so that if anybody ever did challenge it, we would have that. And that's sort of the plan. So we've ordered it, and we're going to hope that we have it soon and can review it. And then the idea is that we'll put the warrant article on at special town meeting. So that's the update. So it's a step in the right direction. And I think that the idea is to convey what we hope is the original layout of, you know, as we know the cemetery now, not the 3 lots that include the path. Although the title exam will include that, we're not going to include those in the conveyance. And then the other part of it is the 100-year thing. We tiptoed around that conversation, but the reality is, like, even the lot that the school is on is not on a recorded plan. So when you start looking at the perimeter plans of even the abutting lots, there's no plan that actually shows the whole cemetery. So we don't even have a plan we can convey off of. So once we get the title, I think the second step would be a plan, so that we are actually conveying a lot on a plan for cemetery purposes. Does that make sense to everybody? And does anybody have any questions?
I have a question.
Sure.
How long a process are you thinking this will be?
So we've ordered the title exam. Town council ordered it. I'm not quite sure if she usually orders from Marsh Moriarty, which is a big firm that does land court titles, pretty popular. And so I'm not sure how long that will take. It's a hard title. I actually I tried to do some of my own work on it, and you start getting into the heirs of coffin, which is a whole book unto itself at the registry, and you can just go right down the rabbit hole. But then, you know, we'd be looking at special town meeting is likely going to be in September. So we'd have to do the warrant article there. Like that's our plan. And then once we get the authority from the town meeting and we have all the pieces together, then let's hope by the end of the year.
Oh, that's wonderful.
But then for the the area where the path is, that you say is going to be a further process afterwards.
Yeah, the town has to take those lots, Fran. They haven't been officially taken. And they weren't taken because of the damage issue as well. So it will help in that process, but that would be a much longer process. And I don't want to hold it up for those 3 lots. I had that conversation with Lee before that, you know, let's get something and then we can start talking about those other 3 lots. But those need to be taken by eminent domain.
Goodness.
Great, thank you, Tracy. This is great news. We've been waiting a long time to get this.
I know. I mean, it's taken me, I have so much going on and I don't know if you're aware, but Christy Ferrantella, who's the housing director, is on maternity leave and I'm covering her position as well. So I'm stretched pretty thin, but I did really intend to have a warrant article on, which is what allowed for the big, you know, the big push to have it get focused on. And then the other warrant article we have is for the Nantucket Education Trust, who intends to build housing up where the buses are. So I felt like they kind of tied together and that it would be appropriate. It's appropriate timing is really what it comes down to. So hopefully we can get it sorted out and be looking for good news.
Great.
Okay. All right. Enjoy the rest of your meeting.
Great.
Tracy.
Thank you for all the work you put into this, Tracy.
Oh, thank you.
Well, that
Great,
means
well, that's good.
we
news.
can't go ahead with any of the plans that we've had for clearing the area or doing anything
Not yet.
for the inconceivable future.
No.
Well, oh, you mean on the other 3 lots?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, that's something that we've been
right. But if we,
desperately
yeah.
wanting to
Right.
do.
But the fact we get the other cleared and land
Right.
recorded, you know, we can
It's
possibly
a
have
foundation
variables.
for permanent
There's
dynamic.
a clear path
design,
forward
yeah.
now.
Right,
At least we have
We know what we're
steps on how
dealing
to
with.
proceed
right.
instead of a lot of questions.
And something that will be settled.
Right.
Settled good. And, we still don't have a place for full burials and maybe
Yeah.
we can, who knows?
Yeah, well, that would be the first thing. Once we get the title and everything cleared out and get the property cleared out.
Yeah.
Then the first thing we'll do is create
Yeah.
some new grave sites.
But that doesn't seem to be it's not even foreseeable.
I felt she felt it was foreseeable that would be the next step.
The next step that she said it's complicated and it will take a long time.
Well, yeah,
I feel a little
first,
disappointed that we cannot move forward with the things that we've been wanting to do for so long, and we still can't.
I know. Well, it's just in that one cemetery, and we actually have done some work in there. We have the monuments. Oh, wait, no, that's coming
No,
up.
we've done the ground penetrating radar.
Yeah, we did the
We
ground
have.
penetrating radar to try and locate
Yeah.
and all that sort of thing. So the cumulative work that we've done, you know, is done. And we can't bury anyone in that cemetery right now anyway.
Right.
So, you
Yeah.
know, we'll have to wait until we have some burial lots in there. Now, well, I, according to what Tracy said, that, you know, that we're at least underway with it. Because
And we have someone who has taken the time at the town,
Finally,
really,
Yeah, because
focus
that's
on
big
it.
on a sign.
right.
well, remember, we've been working on this
For
for,
since before I came on the
Yeah,
committee,
I know.
and I think I'm 20 years.
I know, exactly.
Close.
Well, it's really Tracy.
I thought that it was kind of around when I started, but I don't want to go back how long I've been here now. We started talking about doing the
It's been a while.
monument restoration when I started.
Mhm. Well, at least ever since we've had Tracy involved, we've been moving forward. There
Yeah.
was no real activity.
There's no traction.
In
No
fact, that she's
traction,
already
no.
talking a town warrant
I know,
article.
I know. Well, we'll say, at least we're underway.
Yeah.
And again, thanks to Lee for all the groundwork
Yeah.
that he did.
She said he'd done a little bit, and I'm thinking, a little bit,
He
that
did a
man
lot.
has done the
Yeah.
And he
enormous
did a
amount.
lot.
Yeah,
If he were
exactly.
here today, I think he'll have a few things.
I
to
know,
chat
exactly.
about.
Well, he'll pick it up on the
Yeah,
minutes
right.
when
Right.
I assume we are recording.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So, okay,
Okay, so anyway, well,
Back
that's
to the
good
agenda.
news. So that's
Second
number,
lot sales.
lot sales, there've been no lot sales since the last meeting.
Isn't that odd, because for a while we were having lots, and then after we laid out more,
Yeah. Well,
Fits and spurts.
I think, it's the
You're
time
on
of year,
vacation.
I think,
Yeah.
not too many people looking in the winter time for it, so. I did get an inquiry, in fact, I just had, what's her name, the woman who.
Vanessa, isn't it?
Hmm?
Vanessa that was just here.
Is that Vanessa?
Yes.
I gave Vanessa the name of a person, who emailed me yesterday or the day before. And his girlfriend who had just died he thought that she had said that she had bought a cemetery lot on Nantucket.
Oh dear.
Narrowed it down.
But he did call,
Prospect Hill.
Prospect Hill. Yeah, he talked with, oh God, what's his name? The guy.
Jeff Morris.
Yeah, Jeff
And
Morris.
did they call Sue at St. Mary's?
I don't think so. I think the only one he mentioned was, Jeff Morris. So anyway, we have no,
It's not likely she would have bought one from us. I mean, if you know the name and she hadn't bought something in Faultless,
yeah,
Right.
it's very unlikely that she could have bought a lot in our other historic cemeteries.
yeah,
If you're going to buy a lot on Nantucket, you either buy from us for Faultless or from Prospect Hill, or you do it through
right.
St. Mary's.
It could, maybe it was St. Mary's. When I write him, I'll email him back and say that we don't have a lot in the town cemeteries for her, so.
What's the name?
Let me check. Nancy something. Gregorian or
Okay.
strike a bell.
I don't know, but I'm gonna, when Lauren's back, just say, hey, do you know this?
Right. It's amazing, these requests come in, and also people call me about, they want information about, getting buried in the town cemetery, and I explained to them that, Fultus is the only one we have space in at this time, and blah, 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 all that sort of thing. So anyway, there were, bunch of inquiries, a lot of calls and that sort of thing, so. People are planning ahead, maybe. Okay, next item is,
Well, we just had the new town cemetery us update, item 4, because we took it out of order because Tracy was there.
oh, yeah, exactly. So the next item, publicizing projects and work of the cemetery commission. That's sort of a general topic that I wanted to touch on as far as we've talked about here prior meetings, about letting the public know about the work we've done as far as cleaning the stones and.
I think,
I talked to Josh Walling about Nantucket today,
Mhm.
maybe in the summer, and he just he said, well, we've got Kendall doing the story for the Warren Mirror, which she did.
Yeah.
And I got the impression that he felt the summer might be too soon to commit to another article, but at least we've talked about it.
right, and I think in the last meeting, we kind of determined that after the next
I think we
the
should
next-
finish.
We were gonna finish all the stones in the CPC grants and then we were going to do it.
Yeah,
So we were
exactly, yeah.
kind of projecting the
We
fall
have-
anyway.
We
So I
definitely,
think we decided that last meeting that we would
We
probably,
really, neither you nor I can do anything in the summer because we're both
right,
traveling.
Mhm.
so,
Yeah, and I think all our focus leading up to the summer should be for the video.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as any
Which
publicity
is,
getting
which
that
is
word
the
out.
and
next,
we'll get some good publicity out of
Also,
it.
there's the current worth looking into.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because.
Yeah, once they're all finished, then we can take go around to the different.
Yeah, and we'll have to talk, my friend and I have been to the Dreamland once, we're going again. And I think we should in March sort of decide who we're gonna contact, the current and all of that, and maybe do a news release or something.
ACTV is
Yeah.
talking about filming the premiere.
oh, really?
Yeah, well, yeah, and so that, because what we're planning to do is, the film is gonna be about 36 minutes long. And then whoever wants to be on the Q&A afterwards,
All the narratives.
go up to the stage, maybe in front of the stage, maybe on the stage, and have people have a question and answer. And I know like Mo's gonna do it.
Mhm.
And then, so they plan to film that and put it, and that'll be good publicity.
Excellent, get kind of secondary video out of it.
Yeah, so they, they would like to get an hour for the fit in their, 55 minutes.
And coming up to it, Josh Gray said that they would like to have a trailer to show in the month preceding before their various features. And I gather that Paul Sanderson, the videographer, is putting together a little trailer.
Yeah.
So every time people go to see a movie in
That's
April
awesome.
at the Dreamland, they'll know that
That's
the
coming
Look
up.
at
premiere's
you,
coming
Dan.
in May.
That's
That'd be
amazing.
great to get. Sent here, we could add it to the town.
Yeah.
To the town website.
Yeah.
So they could play it at the Dreamland beforehand, we could do it, the town media group could send it out as a blast, the
Even
trailer
better.
and stuff like that, and we could.
So
add
we
a
would,
Commission
so what
page,
we would, once we have this, we send it to you. Okay,
or
right.
depending on the size of the file, Paul might have to send it to like a file share
Right,
thing, but yeah, or if it
We
goes.
we
on
just asked Paul to send it to you directly.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
so
know,
I
we
think,
get it to
I think
four.
we're gonna get some good traction out of it, Alan.
Yeah, I think so.
And then when the CPC grants and all that, then we'll do another thing in the
Exactly. Yeah.
fall.
Okay, well, I just wanted to put that on the agenda, so, I know we've talked about this a couple of times now, but I think it's important to let the public know what we have done in the cemeteries. And,
Yep, absolutely.
we'll see what comes. Okay, anything else on that?
Well, I remember when Curtis came to a few meetings this year. I felt he was questioning what we'd achieved.
Curtis Gray.
But I tell you, when we laid out all the things we had done, he seemed to be pretty satisfied.
Yeah, I know.
And they didn't come anymore.
I know. Well, he complained to me, this is a couple of months.
Being recorded.
Yeah, no. I did receive a complaint that the agendas were just the same stuff over and over again. I said, well, it's not completely true. I mean,
Well,
No,
you
I-
always
I
pull
put-
things forward.
yeah, I say I put the broad item that we'll be discussing at the meeting on the agenda, so. Okay, so any more update on the film project?
Well, we now have a rough cut of the entire thing, and we're working on the credits.
Mhm.
We spent a fair amount of time on the credits.
We're close.
We're close. Um,
I'm getting more and more excited about this as I read, more of
Yeah,
the stuff.
well, that's the whole point, right?
Yeah, I know.
Give a little and then do a
Yeah.
little more.
Yeah. So anyway, good. I think it's a great project.
Yeah.
And I think this will focus some attention on cemeteries, and I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So, okay, anything else on that, on the film?
I don't think of anything.
And the monument restoration update, any new progress from
We had actually two companies submit bids.
Oh, really?
They're very close in price. And so we're doing a very thorough reference check right now, which is
Do you
taking.
know what the second company was?
Well, the winning bid company actually was a new company. LMC was the second one. The first one was a company, Roughly Mechanical, somewhere on the Cape. Not in love with the references I'm getting back.
Okay.
So we're having to go if we're going to disqualify, we have to do a very thorough
Absolutely.
reference check. And LMC, who has worked with us very successfully in the past, I have to do the very same set of questions to the references.
Yeah.
If we're disqualifying
Fair
somebody.
enough. Fair enough.
So it's a little bit more of a process than we've done in the past when we only have one bidder. So
Any idea how long before they can make it?
I'm just waiting for responses from, I had a list of about 30 questions at first and narrowed it down to about 15.
Yeah.
They're very specific about the type of restoration work we're doing. And so I've sent those out to Roughly Mechanicals, got responses. I didn't feel very confident in the responses I got back. And so now I have to send that same list out to LMCs, and those just went out earlier this week.
Don't take it back.
Yeah, because like one of the things I'm requiring is copy of the report of the work done. So when they've done work for us, we get a report with before and after photos and exactly what work was done to each stone. And so, that's one of the things I requested, as this was a new company who we hadn't worked with before.
And this is an important cemetery.
Right. They're all
Quite a
important.
few,
Because,
yeah,
we're
damaged stones.
we've got a lot of very historic stones here.
Mhm.
Even as Walter, who's done this all the time, has had come across some and just said, I can't fix it. Like, there's one in Old North. There's it's basically like it's somehow holding together. There's a pile of sugar at
Yeah,
the
Yeah,
moment, and
right,
if we touch
right.
it, it's just going to disintegrate. So we have to leave it.
Taking pictures.
Yeah.
Take pictures is for posterity.
Okay.
So hopefully, as soon as I know more, I will let you all know.
oh, okay,
Thank
good.
you.
Anything else? Oops. Oh, this is Lee. Hi, Lee.
Please.
Oh, I'm
There you
getting
go.
Okay. Okay,
There it
great.
is. Hey, Lee.
We're almost at the end of the agenda already. But the important thing is that we had Tracy on at the very beginning of the meeting. And she has good news about the town moving forward and consolidation. It's not it's not a done deal yet, but nonetheless, it's underway. So when you check we are taping it. So when you check the tape, I think you'd be pleasantly surprised about Newtown.
I will be doing that. And folks, I apologize. Sometimes a tooth emergency has to be dealt with, and we knew that Priscilla would not be able to drive after the procedure. She's in good shape now, but it was annoying up until a few minutes ago. Thank you all.
Yeah.
I'll be sending out minutes.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
so Priscilla, we hope she feels better.
Oh, without a doubt, now that the procedure's over, it was just a small abscess that's been dealt with. Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you. I'll
Yeah.
stay on till you adjourn. Not that you need my vote.
Any old, new, or other business? Yes, Frank?
Comment. I think Wilbur and I have both joined a thing called Atlantic Black Box.
Yes.
The woman who has organized it sends out basically information of how to join various meetings in New England. Some of them are in person, they're like walks.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them are in person and virtual, and some of them are strictly presentations. And so I haven't responded to all of them, but today at noon, I did sign up for one. It was a 45-minute presentation about the Harlem African Burial Ground Initiative. And I think, as you know, not all that many years ago, they discovered under a decommissioned bus terminal in Manhattan, a graveyard.
Graveyard.
So a lot of research has been done in this 45 minutes. Two women gave presentations, one about the history of it and the other about this initiative. And one of the interesting things is that this presentation was funded by the Netherlands, because the church that this
Ah,
graveyard belonged to was
Was
to
a
a
Dutch
Dutch
church.
church.
Oh, really?
And part of it was for white members of the church, and another section of it was for black members. And then when Woodlawn Cemetery was opened in Brooklyn, or was it in the Bronx? Anyway, they gave the opportunity to families who had members interred in the white sections to have them disinterred and reinterred in Woodlawn. But they didn't offer the same opportunity to the people in the black section, and so they were simply paved over. And one after another thing was laid on top of them, and finally this massive bus terminal, which is now decommissioned. And the initiative is they have been given an entire city block, and half of it lies over the historic bounds of the African cemetery. And that is going to be a monument. There's going to be an outdoor part and an indoor museum of history. And so far they've recovered 140 sets of human remains. They're sure there are more. And they've also been able to compile a list of names of some of the people interred there. They've said they're never going to be able to account for everybody, but it's something. So I found that, really interesting, and also it's a story that we hear from the mainland again and again, that black cemeteries are being recovered, and sometimes they're just overgrown. But very often they've had highways put over them, buildings constructed on top of them. So this is a story we've heard before, but this is all going on in Manhattan. And
Fran, can you send me a link to the story?
I'm sorry.
Fran, can you send me a link to the story so I can add it to the minutes?
I'll try to do that. Yep.
Great, thank you.
So, it makes us feel really fortunate that even though a helipad has been constructed right on the corner of our cemetery, at least our cemetery was never built on. It wasn't erased.
No.
Yeah.
It's always been respected.
Yeah.
And I think we can feel
proud of it.
happy about that.
Yeah.
So that's this is, I'm going to zoom in on another presentation at 6 this evening from the American Philosophical Society about Philadelphia.
No, it's amazing. Well, over time, how different groups of people handle burials, in terms of, anyways.
I think that when our film has had its premiere and so forth, that we can arrange for Atlantic Black Box to present it to a much wider mainland audience.
Yeah. And we're members of the Black Cemetery Network, so hopefully there's someplace there too, so.
Okay, is there any other business to come before the commission this afternoon? Seeing none, God, this is one of the shortest meetings. Anyway, The big news, of course, is Tracy's report. that
Yeah.
Finally, we're making some progress on the cemetery. So, okay, if there's nothing else to come before the commission, then I declare we are at the end of our agenda.
Thank you. We'll see you next month.
Yeah.